Hello, and welcome to another quick tip on Power BI Tips. We're going to jump into another quick tip today. I've been playing around with task flows. If you don't know more about task flows or want to learn more about task flows, check out the description below. There's some documentation from Microsoft about what is a task flow and how to use it. I've been playing around with task flows recently, and I found some interesting scenarios that I needed to use inside task flows, and I wanted to show you that tip now. This is going to show you how to add an item into a task flow and remove an item from a task flow. It's actually not as easy as you would think, but we'll show you the workaround. Let me get my desktop up and running here. So you can see at my desktop, here I am in a Fabric workspace. So I'm in a Microsoft Fabric workspace currently. And inside this workspace, I'm going to show you how to make a task flow. For first and foremost, you can click this nice green button here in the middle of the screen. This is going to let me select a pre-existing task flow, and then I can take my items from my workspace and add them to this. If I select an existing task flow here, you'll notice a menu will pop up on the right-hand side of the screen, and then I can pick a task flow that will build a bunch of artifacts for me. This is nice if you know what you want to build, a medallion architecture, have some general tasks, but in this example, I'm just going to show you how to make a single task. We'll go over here and we'll click this bottom button called Add a Task. When I add a task, I'm going to just add a get data task. And this is a different type of tasks where you can pick which kind you're building. Get data, storing information like a lake or lake house. If you want to prepare data using data flows or notebooks, you can use that. And there's some data science things here as well. So analyze and training data. And then for Power BI semantic models and or reports, you can use visualize data. These are very flexible and you can do whatever you want with them. So if I'll click on here, the first one, get data, and it will then produce the card on the page. You can move the card around, but there is no items down below because it's already filtering this card for the items that are inside this task. If I click on the paperclip, I can attach different elements from my workspace into my task. For example, this is getting data and moving it into my Fabric environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check an option here for this data flow gen 2. I'm going to actually add this particular item from my workspace back into my task. So to add it, it's very easy. You click on the checkbox and it will add that item to that task card. Same thing here. I have a couple more items that I'm loading data. So I'm going to grab this one. I'll grab this pipeline. And I think that's all the data that I'm loading into my task flows. I'll hit select. And there we go. We've got my items added to my task. If I want to add a second task, it's as easy as going to this button in the upper right-hand corner and picking my new task. So in this example here, I will prepare some data because I have some notebooks and other things. And what I'll do is I'll add a second task. So first thing is get data, prepare it, or maybe store it. Actually, let's do store instead. I think store makes more sense after I load the data into my lakehouse. So I'm going to click on the store data task, and you'll notice another card appears. The neat part here is I can take the end of the get data experience and I can attach it to the storing experience. So this is giving me an indication that I'm linking two tasks together. Cool. I'll go in this task here. I'll click the append again. And here I'll grab all my data stores. So I have a lakehouse. I'll grab that one. I have a second lakehouse. And I have a third lakehouse. So I have four lakehouses actually. I will grab all my lakehouses and add them here. Great. The neat part about task flows is if I click on the task itself, it automatically filters the list below to automatically select the items inside that task. So clicking on Get Data, it's a filtered list of those items. This is where I have my issue. So once I've made these tasks, I have to have all these items in here. Well, what if I don't want those tasks added? What if I don't want the items in this task anymore? If I click on the paperclip here, I can see that they're linked based on the store task that's linked here, but there's no check option. I don't have any place to remove this task. So there's two ways you can do this. There's two ways you can remove tasks. The first thing is brute force. I'm going to click on the card. I'll scroll down here over to the store information. This is the description and information about this task. If I click on the little trash can icon over here on the right, you'll notice that the trash can icon here is where I'm able to delete the task. So over here on the right-hand side, you see there's a little delete can. If I click on the delete task, those items get removed, the task disappears. This works, but if you had a description, if you had information inside your task, so if I click edit here, I can click on and observe the task flow name and the description here in the task flow descriptions. So if I edit this, new task flow or card, a new task card, let's call it new task card here. And if I adjust the information down here below, my information, when I delete the card, I lose all of this. So this is not really an ideal experience. I don't think this is great for the information particularly on this card. So what I may want to do instead is I'll go into add another card. I'll add a general card like this. And now what I can do is I can go into, for example, this gate data. I have 3 items: baseball, loading data, and then a New York taxi loading pipeline. If I want to remove any items out, I can go into the general card, grab the items that I want to remove. I'll pick 2 of these items, and I'll hit the select button down here at the bottom. And when I click on select, it will then move those items out to the new card. And then I can delete the card by using the delete key on my keyboard or using the trash can in the upper right-hand corner. So I'll select the card, click on delete, and then those items will be removed. This way, if you're using tasks and you're having a card that you want to retain your information on that task, you don't want to rename it, or you don't want to have to add the information here again. So this is load, maybe I'll just call it load data, so it's different here. If I want to retain that name and or the description or information about this card, I don't have to physically delete it. So again, that tip and trick there is if you want to add things, click the checkbox, select it, it will be added. And to remove it, you'll need to create a new card called general or something else. You'll go into that new card, you'll take the items out of the section that you want in the task, hit select, and then you'll click delete on the card, and then those items will be removed. Not the smoothest experience, but something that I found that works for me so I don't lose my descriptions and the names of my existing data cards. I hope you like this tip and trick. We'll do more things with task flows as we learn more about them. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you next time.